original, still the best, now for more than 12 years. This is Radio Free Cybertron, hosted by Brian Kilby, with J.D. Church, John DeLuna, XV, Amy Morgan, Peter Van, and Rob Clay. For the latest Transformers news, visit tformers.com.
Yep, this is Radio Free Cybertron, and I'm your host and friend, Brian Kilby. Hey guys, how's it going? Screw you, XV. So, as promised, I just wanted to say we missed you, Nicole. I promised I would say that on Twitter yesterday. And that is the first topic of the show. Okay, with me I have XV, Peter Van, and Rob Clay. No rest of those people this week.
This is going to suck, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to suck. Apparently they have better things to do.
We don't need them.
We don't need them. So, actually, believe it or not, there's actually quite a bit of news, or relatively speaking, this week. Some big items that weren't mentioning. So, was it this week or the past week when we actually got the picture of the silhouette, which, God, that's big news, the picture of the silhouette of Masterpiece Soundwave?
That was like 2 days ago.
2 days ago, okay. I know I didn't see that last week. So, how often, or when was the last time we actually got a new mold? A new mold Masterpiece toy, and then a glimpse of the next new mold Masterpiece toy at the same time?
Well, when they're making them half size, it's a lot easier to churn them out fast.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point.
That's
a really valid...
If they make them brittle, it's even faster. There's no QC going on.
Yeah.
The worst part of that photo, though, was that it's on the same page with Masterpiece Sideswipe, and they're both so square I could not actually tell a difference. I thought it was going to be Red Alert.
It's in the legs. I mean...
Yeah.
Well, and if you look really closely, the shape of the shoulder outline is different.
Yeah.
He's got bigger shoulders. Square shoulders.
But, I mean, you have to think, the Season 1 designs are just stacks of boxes, so with a silhouette, it really could be anyone.
Is there one that isn't? Does Cosmo shows up in Season 2. He's round. I'm trying to think of one who isn't a box.
In Season 1?
In Season 1.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Except
in robot mode.
I think if you take Bumblebee and just black out all the middle, he still looks like boxes.
He's a box. Bumblebee box. That's what he is. Actually, but your point about them making them like half size is really really valid. It's actually, and it's not a bad thing. Except for being brittle, the newer Masterpiece toys are just as nice as or honestly, they're better as far as the actual engineering and design than the older stuff. And, I mean, if they can turn them around more quickly and if they're less expensive, I am all for that. I love that idea. Or I love that fact.
They just have to be less expensive enough, because Sideswipe's going to be about the size of an alternator. And right now, the pre-order is still around $160 for it.
When you put it that way, sad trombone.
Yeah.
But the problem...
That will probably come down. Big Bad Toy Store reduced the price on Masterpiece Sunstorm partway through the pre-order period. So,
and he's a known quantity, too.
Where they're getting their supply from, that price will drop.
But the thing is, where I can sort of justify it, except for with alternators, except for the car vehicles or the car transformers, at least now we're getting, supposedly, one would have to assume, at least by Megatron and Grimlock, robot vehicle modes or alternate modes that aren't just cars. And that was one issue with alternators and Vinyl Tech that we sort of had to put up with. And honestly, also it kind of sucked too. Besides that, so...
Well, they were engineered horribly.
They were. Yeah.
Rob could tell you stories about Grimlock.
My Grimlock is in pieces.
My Grimlock went up on eBay.
But before that,
it took me 45 minutes to get stuck in the middle of transforming it, and it got stuffed in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I managed it, but my problem with Grimlock is he's almost completely unrecognizably Grimlock. He's got a Grimlock head, but that's it. The color, so what? I mean, it just doesn't do anything for me at all.
Well, Grimlock's whole thing is he's a dinosaur.
He's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So he's extinct. So why would he do it?
He's extinct, so why would he be a car?
He's a Ford. Actually, Ford's doing pretty well. He'd be like a Studebaker. That would have been pretty cool.
Okay.
or an Edsel.
Or an Edsel, yeah. So, and basically, I guess the other bit of news that sort of jumped out to me, literally an email today when Peter sent it to me when I was asking for news. Prime Wave 4 has been shifted around to include twice the amount of Viacons. That's pretty fantastic.
It's more than twice the amount because previously there were none.
Well, I mean, twice the amount from Wave 2. We're in Wave 2 now.
3.
So, 3?
3.
Dang. Man, I am behind.
Yeah, Viacon was Wave 3.
Yeah, so it has increased infinitely.
Yes, actually, double infinitely.
Yeah, and the best part is they removed a Bumblebee. So
there were two Bumblebees.
Yeah, the two Bumblebees to put in.
But they put in an
Viacon.
extra hot shot.
Somebody must have walked into Walmart and actually saw what was left on the shelves. I mean,
well, no, it's supposed to be Shadow Strike Bumblebee was slated for Wave 4.
Now, if you missed that at BotCon, that's the Bumblebee we already have with a few extra dark stripes.
It's essentially the stealth Bumblebee from the movies,
except more yellow.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's the same idea. Like, and then they just put him on the Prime thing. Like, why not, right? I mean, everybody likes black with stripes and stuff.
Yeah, it's the
I
best.
wonder if the stores themselves were not kind of getting after Hasbro to like vary things up a little bit, given all the like repeated toys, not just Bumblebee, but especially Bumblebee, that are still there.
I can't imagine they're any happier with all the Bumblebees sitting around than we are.
No.
Yeah, I don't know how much the retailers themselves give feedback on the specific character. I don't know that. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of Hasbro walking the stores and actually seeing what sells, or looking at the SKUs and getting the numbers back and seeing what sells.
I would assume that it's the retailers going, stop giving us Bumblebees.
Which is funny because supposedly the whole reason for having Bumblebees is the retailers want more Bumblebees.
Yeah, but those are the only ones that still sit on the shelves.
Yes,
I can go to a place
they finally realized the mistake they've made, asking for 5 Bumblebees in every assortment.
Yeah, I go to a store and there's nothing there, and there's Transformers Prime Bumblebees.
This is Mattel and their Batman, except in Transformers, where there's no excuse for it.
Yeah.
But at least for Batman, you can get Ice Cream Batman, Repel Batman, and Fire Repellent
Batman.
Batman.
Now you can get Bumblebee, Shadow Strike Bumblebee, and Hot Shot.
Yeah, Peter's right, though. At least those Batman's the correct pluralization of Batman.
Yeah, we're going to go with Batman's.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Batman because it's one guy. But they're all, for the most part, they're new molds, or at least variations on the mold. It's not just a repaint, for the most part.
5-fingered Batman?
Yeah,
Batman,
exactly. Batman's. I love that.
That's right, XV. I can't count today. Leave me alone.
No, I was just trying to figure out where the 4-finger variant Batman comes from. Like, what the source for that is.
He cut off his finger while making, tomato soup.
The Bongo Comics
he
universe.
Cut off his finger while making tomato soup. He's Batman. He can breathe in space.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
with breathing in spacesuit Batman.
Well, yeah, that was an actual toy. That's where that came from.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's true. Yeah.
I think that had 5 fingers, too.
5 fingers.
Maybe he got hypothermia.
Yes. Or he could be polydactyl Batman and have 6 fingers. Yeah, it could happen. Hey, and sort of last bit of news. Last week we had mentioned Rob Springer's YouTube exclusive show, RFC RTM 1. Episode 1 went online last week. Rob actually got Episode 2 online this week and watched it yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And it actually partially inspired this week's topic, which we'll get into in just a little while. Hint, it involves G.I. Joe.
So, does RTM stand for anything?
That's a good question. Gentlemen? I just love the random laugh.
Oh, okay. I was just... You were like, that's a good question. I was actually waiting for you to...
No, I don't know. I don't...
Maybe it's...
No,
I think,
that is a good question.
I think it stands for Rub the Matrix.
Rub the Matrix. So, yeah, so it's...
I think the Matrix needs an adult.
Yeah. It's one of those shows. So, but yeah, so Rob did that.
Hey, Brian, this is what you get for only having us on the show. I have a lot more time to talk.
We do need Fort Max on the show this week.
Unfortunately, he just signed off of Skype, so
that means when we scream at him and say, "Hey, Fort Max," he's just going to ignore us.
Pretty much, yes.
Well, if JD was on, that would be true.
Yeah, he totally would ignore. But yeah, so Rob posted that yesterday. Go to YouTube and check that out. Definitely worth watching. And the cool thing is, as far as like the feel of that show, I'd almost wish that I had suggested that Rob call that RFC Throwback, because that's really kind of exactly what it is. For those out there listening who are familiar with our RFC Throwback concept, it was basically a RFC show where we went back and sort of tried to fill in the gaps from, say, 2003 to like 2008, sort of in the classic RFC style, which is pretty cool. Not really. No. We don't do that anymore.
No.
Yeah. So, okay. I know that Rob watched Prime this weekend. Peter, did you? You said no.
No.
XV.
What?
Exactly. So for those of you that watched, you mind giving us a recap of what happened and general thoughts around it? I heard it was good.
It was good. It was another Marty Eisenberg episode, which I'm always happy to see.
Nice.
Basically, what happened is Ratchet and Wheeljack team up to go for the latest Icon artifact, but get a little sidetracked on the way. They encounter...
Apparently Laserbeak is a really good match for Wheeljack's ship. Think about that for a minute.
So, yeah, they managed to shoot down Laserbeak and get the bright idea of using it to implant a virus in Soundwave and thus the Decepticon mainframe to basically get information on more Iacon artifacts. And so we get Raph and Ratchet working on that while Wheeljack takes on Soundwave to not very good effect.
Now, see, if Wheeljack would have had his way from the beginning and just put a grenade in Laserbeak to blow up Soundwave, we would have had a whole lot shorter show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense by the way it sounds.
It plays a lot better than that, actually. Again, it's a Marty
Eisenberg episode.
And it works really well.
Triplet described it as a Ratchet Wheeljack buddy cop episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get behind that.
So, do you think it did anything to progress? I mean, at the very least, this whole concept of the Iacon artifacts, or maybe even progress sort of the show as a whole? I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Wheeljack as a character. Did it make him likable?
No.
Not particularly. I don't think he came off quite as obnoxious as he has in the past, but
No, he kind of did.
Okay. I think it's mainly because he was more in his element. He had something to smash and someplace to do it where nobody would be endangered.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Need more gas stations to blow up.
Yes. I probably should catch up on Transformers Prime. I'm like 2.5 episodes back. I made it halfway through the God,
Television.
yeah, whatever it
It's
was.
actually not that big of a deal because I actually was 6 episodes behind and I caught up in like a day.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't take very long.
I mean, I want to like catch up on the show, but it's not bad. But we've had that discussion before. The show's not bad. It doesn't really do a lot for me. But if it's
not bad, but it's not awesome.
yeah, but the thing about Marty Eisenberg,
He's awesome.
He's awesome, and his stuff has been consistently good. So if they want me to watch the show, they just have to have Marty write the episodes.
It helps a lot. I mean, I
really
enjoyed
does.
this week's episode, even though it was Wheeljack focused, and I don't like Wheeljack.
I don't care for Wheeljack at all.
What are you talking about? He's a wrecker.
No, he sure wanted to be Drift, though.
Yeah. So what I did care about, and if people out there listening haven't read More Than Meets the Eye #5 and don't want to be spoiled,
You should probably stop listening.
probably stop listening.
Take your headphones off or turn your speakers down.
I'm going to try to do this without spoiling as much as possible. I think I'm going to go in assuming that people read #4 at the end. Fortress Maximus returns, and basically the Fortress Maximus's big addition to this issue was just him basically waking up and then having his holy crap moment as he basically comes to, and he makes a mess, which I guess one would expect Fort Max to do. But really what this episode does is it just resolves the story arc that started last month with the virus that the Autobots had discovered. And if I hadn't already liked Ratchet in More Than Meets the Eye, this issue certainly would have done that. It's like really Ratchet's issue, and his characterization is awesome. I freaking love Ratchet, and Ultra Magnus as well. Ultra Magnus is really great in this. He only has a bit part, and it's kind of just sort of a I would say I would call it a trope, basically, or a cliche, I guess, the way that he handles the education of oh man, what was his name? The quasi-Decepticon. What?
Good job, Brian.
Yes.
The Matrix.
No. Can't remember name. Name failing.
Allspark Cube.
Yeah, we'll just say Allspark Cube.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, I don't have to watch. I don't have to read this book at all.
Yeah, it was Tailgate. Not that. Yeah, it was Tailgate. But basically, the interaction with Ultra Magnus and Tailgate is really funny. So if you're reading it, just watch out for that. But the thing, though, that really impressed me about this issue, and it's really two things. One, three actually. I could even go as far to say. One, it had like the best last page of any comic that I can remember in recent history. And Triplet and I were talking today at work about how it's great not having to grade a Transformers comic on a curve. I can read a Transformers comic and legitimately like it, not just because it's a Transformers comic, which is almost always the case. Actually, I guess it has always been the case, pretty much up until now. Sorry, but I think More Than Meets the Eye is either my favorite or second favorite comic. Like with it and maybe Daredevil or Amazing Spider-Man from Marvel. I love those books, but I genuinely love More Than Meets the Eye. It's really great. And so I hope people out there are reading it. It's definitely worth reading. General Techno had actually said on Twitter yesterday when I commented on my approval for the book, he pointed out that a lesser writer would have made this whole arc into like a whole trade paperback worth of books. And this was basically 2 issues. 2 really solid issues. Seriously, if you're not reading this book and you're a Transformers fan, I don't know why. It's really good. It's really, really good.
I don't have a comic book store.
Dude, frickin' Comixology.
No, I want real books. Real books.
Comixology.
Paper in my hand.
I like how that was just word for word.
Dude, no, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Amazon, get the freaking trade paperback when it comes out.
He doesn't have a comic book store.
Amazon, everybody has Amazon.
He wants real
No,
books.
I don't have Amazon.
Oh, your mom has Amazon.
I don't think you can get to Amazon from there, can you? XP?
From Tennessee, absolutely. We passed by it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a shipping warehouse in Tennessee?
Oh, never mind. I meant
That means
like
you
the
have-
river.
That means you have to pay taxes.
No, I think the warehouse is in Kentucky.
There are no taxes in Tennessee. That's the cool part about it.
Oh no, there's taxes.
Sales
I even get to pay extra taxes for the county I live in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, his sales tax is obscene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
But yeah, definitely though. If you haven't picked this up, pick it up. I mean, for God's sakes, they've more than made up for all the crap they put out for the last 4 or 5 years. Love it. I really do. I mean, it's definitely worth picking up.
It's now time for Comic News with Amy Morgan.
Hello, it's Amy once again back for another week of Transformers news and reviews in 5 minutes. And I have to predict that this one's going to be a little bit over 5 minutes because there's a lot of stuff to talk over. So, Amazon reveals this week U.S. Classics Volume 4 and More Than Meets the Eye Volume 2. Both things that won't, well, the placeholder says November. So it's kind of fun that they're putting it out there already. And hey, Classics, we're going to get more of those volumes. I'm really happy with that. And one of my favorite reveals this week, art book, The Art of the Fall of Cybertron. Now, many of you that follow me know that I have had a petition out for the last year to get an art book from High Moon. So this is really great news. Although it's only been revealed on the UK Amazon site, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that High Moon is going to make an announcement soon. And I'm really thrilled about it. So I will definitely be getting that. Also, there is this great cover reveal for issue 8 of Robots in Disguise on the Transformers Facebook page. It has Turmoil on it, and it was drawn by Casey Collar, which also he had an interview as well. So go check out the Transformers Facebook page. Check it out online. Nick Roach and James Roberts will be attending Auto Assembly 2012 for all the UK listeners and possible US attendees. Lastly, the August solicits, which I'm going to barrel through pretty fast because I've got 2 comics to review today. Maximum Dinobots is going to get a reprint. So far, looking like it's going to be the same cover. This is going to catch up any new readers and listeners who haven't read the last story we've been in. Because it's been a while since we've seen the Dinobots. This will be great for Dinobot month in August. We'll also be getting More Than Meets the Eye issue number 8 and Robots in Disguise issue number 8 that month as well. Both featuring Dinobots. Grimlock in one and the rest of the team on another. Because Grimlock has been hinted at being a cracked egg and crazy. So they've split up the team for now, but never know, they might get back together. So More Than Meets My hints that it will answer the questions of what's been going on with Grimlock and where he's been all this time. Whereas Rid hints that the Dinobots and Ironhide have a mission together on Cybertron. So it's measuring out to be a very interesting Dinobot month being teased. Can't wait to read it. Also starting in August will be a return of the annuals, the first being More Than Meets the Eye, written by James Roberts. A 48-page comic will get in, from what it looks like, one chunk. New artist, Jimbo Salgado. The Lost Light will be venturing to the Crystal City, which we saw in Drift. And what they find waiting for them is going to change everything, and not necessarily for the better. September will give us the Robots in Disguise annual, and we'll find out about that one next month in July, June solicits. So, and that's not all we'll be getting. We'll also be getting Regeneration 1 on the Dinobot Fun as well. As number 82, which is 32 pages, will also be out in August. There is so much love for the Dinobots in August. Story and more story, and even Simon Furman's story. Everyone is on board with this, including High Moon Studios, as Fall of Cybertron comes out that month as well. So, all good stuff. Now, switching gears, it's time to review Autocracy 10, which I haven't had a chance to download because it's been a very busy day. Orion Pax became Optimus Prime last issue when he found the Matrix. Or more appropriately, the Matrix found him. This issue, he goes back to the destroyed Nion as the Matrix is drawing him there. Meanwhile, the Autobots are in a world of torturous hurt as the Decepticons interrogate them. They believe that Hot Rod has turned his back on them. And Megatron is sure that Hot Rod is one of them. But Hot Rod makes his own choice, and believe me, it isn't a simple walk from the cons. Explosions happen! And the ending reveal was a really great payoff for me because I didn't see it coming, and it makes complete and total sense. I have nothing but applause for this issue, and I'm ranking it a 4 out of 5 stars. Strong issue. Please buy this digital-only comic from IDW or Comixology. More Than Meets the Eye, issue number 5. So many things happen in this issue, and I seriously just don't have enough time to rave and gush about it, every bit of it. This is a dense comic and well-paced, well-written. Characterization is through the atmosphere, conflict and consequences, continuity. I can't say enough good things about this issue. It picks up the 2-part story right where we left off last issue with Fort Max waking up, finding the 2 Decepticons holding up the medics on Delphi. And things really don't fare well for them at all. Then we get right into the guts of what's going on and why this infection is happening and who's caused it and who's gonna die. And is Ratchet gonna make it? Is Drift? Is Pipes? And is the DJD responsible for this? And if that wasn't enough story right there, we jump back to the Lost Light, to Ultra Magnus and Tailgate, and the Autobot code, and what's buried there that may be setting things up for the future. And then Rung and Red Alert, and what he's hearing in the walls of the ship. What strange voice is coming out of the Spark Eater's chambers? The Energon is about to hit the fan and explode all over the place. I rank this one a 5 out of 5 stars. If you aren't reading these ongoing series by Roberts and Barber, you're simply missing out on the best Transformers comic story we have gotten in the history of Transformers comics. It's just spectacular. So, that's my segment for this week. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Radio Free Cybertron will return after these messages.
Jet formation!
Jet transformation!
Transformers! The aerial bots are taking their shots. Some are both plastic Combaticons. They can all change and be rearranged to form a super robot Superion. Cause the Combaticons are worried, Onslaught is roaring. Here's one metamorph in Bruticus. They all combine to kick Superions behind as the big bad battle in Bruticus.
That was brutal!
No! That's Bruticus!
Transformers Generation 2 aerial bots and Combaticons, each sold separately.
Cool hot rods!
Transforming laser rods!
Flying all around in the air and on the ground. Transformer rotors are spinning. They can change before your eyes. That's a rotor shooting guys. When they get into a battle, they be winning. Blazing in
Transformers Generation 2. Rotors and laser rods each sold separately.
Battle Tank!
Battle this.
It's heavy metal cruncher time as Optimus Prime goes toe-to-toe with Combat Megatron. Prime is one tough dude underneath his hood. He's a Transformer missile fun phenomenon. Combat Megatron is combat armed. His mighty mega missiles are slamming. He can metamorph and use mega force, but Combat Optimus is still standing.
All right, Optimus!
Over here.
Yeah!
Transformers Generation 2. New Combat Optimus Prime and new Combat Megatron each sold separately.
Run, it's Dreadwing!
And Dreadwing's twice as deadly.
Dreadwing is punishing. His Gatling gun is killing. The Decepticon bombers a Transformer Rama. A 3-in-1 villain that's chilling. Combat tank and Sonic Jet transform into double trouble robots. The missiles go boom, smelling certain doom as they take aboard the awesome Autobots.
Autobots, how?
No one can save you. From triple changing Dreadwing.
Transformers Generation 2. Dreadwing is all you see here. Other figures sold separately. The battle takes to the sky with Cyberjets, high-flying Autobots versus combat-ready Decepticons. Cyberjets are loaded with firepower and ready to transform.
Robots in disguise. Transformers.
Cyberjets, each sold separately. Get ready for combat. Combat Optimus Prime, the ultimate Autobot hero, now packs the ultimate firepower. Optimus transforms from cool combat trailer into awesome combat robot. But the evil Megatron is mega tough. Megatron transforms from combat tank into evil combat robot.
Transformers. Born to transform.
Transformers Generation 2. Combat Optimus Prime and Combat Megatron each sold separately.
We now return to Radio Free Cybertron.
Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic this week. So the big news for the last couple of days was that Paramount has pushed back G.I. Joe Retaliation to March 2013 to make it 3D.
Now, bear in mind, this is coming out in like a month from now.
Yes, it comes out for people. Yeah, for people who are listening to this in 2017. The movie was coming out in like a month, and you know what? The movie looked great. I mean, G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra was a big flaming turd. It was terrible, but
I enjoyed it.
yeah, but this looked like it was going to make up for it and more. I was really excited for this, and poof, a year later. That's when we're getting it virtually. You know, that really kind of sucks.
Now, did you mention why they're pushing it back to 2013?
Make it 3D.
Supposedly.
Well, I think what you need to say for that is why didn't they do it, while they were doing it?
I think it's an excuse.
Yeah, they don't want it to come out in the same summer as Avengers.
Yes,
they're afraid.
that is exactly
everybody's
it.
afraid now, right? Because the Avengers could, it's possible, right? Because the Hunger
The
Games
Avengers could
still
turn
pretty
around
high.
and eat it.
The Hunger Games
Basically,
is still pretty high in terms of box office returns, and it came out in March.
Yeah.
So the Avengers probably still has a decent amount of lasting power up until, I don't know, September.
yeah, it's not going to be Avatar, because Avatar was just ridiculous. It didn't start out huge, but it only kept dropping like a couple % a week.
It's not going to be Avatar because Avatar was terrible.
I have yet to. I will never watch Avatar, but yes.
Go watch it.
But yes, they wanted to avoid being in the same year as Avengers. The Amazing Spider-Man movie will make some money. The new Batman movie, and there are other movies coming out which will do well. And because the first G.I. Joe movie was so bad, it made money, but because it was so bad, I'm certain they don't. Yeah. I mean, I laughed at it a lot. I really enjoyed watching it, but I mean, I can't say I enjoyed the movie. But I mean, that's being pushed back, and that really sucks. We apparently do have a whole wave of toys coming out over the next couple of weeks for this movie, which we won't get for another year. But for the most part,
now it doesn't
supposedly
really
they're
make
now
a
heading
difference.
Monday.
What, Monday?
Yeah, supposedly
Monday.
they've now moved the release date up to Monday because they're sitting on the stuff.
no
and what
point.
the hell are you going to do?
yeah.
But see, it doesn't really make a difference anyway, because without media support, people are going to buy the Retaliation toys just as much as they buy any other GI.
Which is my point. I mean, other than some just sparse, stocking of toys that Hasbro has put out a lot of really good stuff for GI Joe. The toys have been fantastic, but nobody is selling them. Retaliation toys are coming out, and they'll probably be at Ross, in no time. I mentioned it earlier in the show. The best GI Joe toys I've bought in a month or two, I got at frickin' Dollar General.
Those are really nice.
Yeah, I mean those are great. So, thank goodness that as Transformers fans, we are not, GI Joe collectors.
So just really quickly, like Dollar General is carrying GI Joe toys because nobody else will pick them up.
No, it's
they got an exclusive assortment of
budget toys.
Yeah, Transformers Legends toys. But as far as the Joe stuff, it was I guess you could say Legends characters, but it was.
I said budget toys.
Oh, budget! Yes, absolutely, budget toys, and they're
$6 a piece for repaints with like one weapon and a generic stand.
But they're actually pretty nice.
No, they're great.
Like here's Snake Eyes, and he's an homage to the ¡91 Snake Eyes, which I was, growing up, that was my Snake Eyes. And I really like this toy, and I actually got all of them. JD sent them today, or sent them a couple days ago, and they arrived today.
Excellent.
Yeah, but I mean, really, that's like the best stuff anyone has seen in a while. Of course, at Oklahoma City, when I was going to BotCon, I did wind up picking up a couple of toys that I had missed. But I mean,
inconceivably, new GI Joe stock in a Walmart in the middle of the day, just whatever.
Yeah. So
that's horrible. That means but not even the scalpers are buying it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, but we're complaining about having we're complaining about assortment issues. We're complaining about too many bumblebees on the shelves. But at least there is stuff on the shelves. We have 2 different lines on the shelves right now. 3, you could argue if you consider Bot Shots like its own line. And we complain, but we got it pretty good. I mean, as far as Rob's point in RC episode 2 was that Transformers used to be the redheaded stepchild or the little brother of the G.I. Joe collectors. But, for the last 10 years, we've had it a lot better than they have. And they've gone, we went through a dark period in the, early 90s through about, actually it was only a few years, about 5 years. There was a period when it was sort of hard to get Transformers. There have been periods off and on for the last, 15 years that G.I. Joe has been difficult to get a hold of. And a lot of the toys that have come out in those 15 years haven't been great. G.I. Joe is kind of in, dire straits. They should have a hit movie coming out soon, but they're not. Other Hasbro properties are seeing, varying levels of success. My Little Pony is going through this huge, renaissance. It's like mainstream, it's like people know that My Little Pony is out there, which is kind of cool. I mean, it is what it is. There's another Hasbro property in theaters right now, Battleship, and
Don in the chat brought up a point earlier, which is, do you think the resounding failure of Battleship might be one reason that Retaliation got pushed back?
Entirely possible. It is entirely possible.
Because they don't want to summer with 2 Hasbro flops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Battleship was not in 3D, right? So, yeah, that's possible.
Did it matter if it was in 3D?
Well, the thing is, one of the reasons was that they were going to push it to 3D because in China and Russia, they're just building out 3D, to the craziness. It's like, and even in Hong Kong, like a well-developed city, is you had to go an extra step to get to a 2D theater. There were certain theaters that didn't even show 2D showings.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So you had to go further out just to get a 2D show. So, you can imagine. I mean, they charge what, like an extra $5 here.
Depends on
Something
the
like that,
showing.
depending on where you go. Yeah. So it makes sense that they would charge. I mean, extra $4 to $5 in your pocket, and in 3D will definitely get better prospects because Battleship was out in other countries a month before. Like when I was on vacation, they were already releasing Battleship in the United Kingdom. So, and it only made 200 million for a movie that cost 200 million to make.
Yeah.
Better than
And 195 million of that was to Liam Neeson. So I mean, you got to make some money back somehow.
I guess one of my question is though, what does this mean for Hasbro in general? I mean, they didn't necessarily have a great year last year. This movie, which of course they didn't produce the movie, but they do definitely make money based on the success or failure of that movie.
Yeah, they'll make a lot of money off the board games. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, what does this mean? I mean, is Hasbro in really bad shape, or do they need to rethink their, their properties, their strategy? Do they have to hang their hat on Transformers, or, what's the future hold?
Tough call, really. I mean, Hasbro's obviously going to feel the effects probably worse than Paramount will, even though that I'm pretty sure that this was not their decision at all.
Right.
It's hard to say. They don't, that leaves them, like you said, but the only movie property this year having been Battleship, that's not good. Also, just, I don't have much else to say about this, but while it's still in my head, how sad is it that right before Retaliation, we were getting Renegades toys in G.I. Joe for a show that had already been canceled. So we got the toys after the show was gone, and now we've got the toys before the movie's going to show up. That
is really weird.
G.I. Joe cannot catch a break.
Hasbro has been having some timing problems in general.
Yeah,
I guess it's just kind of expanded outward a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, may as well poison the rest of our lines. I mean, come on. It obviously worked.
Okay,
great.
now to be fair, G.I. Joe was already on life support, so they can't really do much more to hurt it.
I love G.I. Joe. It sucks. This pisses me off so much.
I feel like
you love G.I. Joe, and other people love G.I. Joe too, but it's hard to look at it and say, now there's a successful toy line.
I think for their other movies, like, they're making a Monopoly movie and a Clue movie.
They cannot remake Clue.
So what
they can die.
Have they started shooting on the Monopoly movie yet?
I want to see a Monopoly movie. I would watch that.
If they haven't started shooting on the Monopoly movie, they're never going to.
Funny enough, it is directed by Ridley Scott. It's
What?
produced by Ridley Scott. Yeah. And they're going to do a Risk movie and everything. So it's crazy. But they do need to move away from, like, the Transformers on, like, property, like real estate. Or Transformers in Who Murdered the Wife in the Kitchen. Like, or Transformers, like, because they really, really milked the Transformers, brand with Battleship, and everybody was like, I've had enough of Transformers now. Just one summer without Transformers, please. And then it didn't happen, because you got Transformers on water.
Well, they'll get a summer without Transformers next year.
No, because then the Monopoly's going to come out, and then the guy with the monocle...
Transformers?
He's good. Yeah, it's going to be.
They did set Monopoly
in real estate
in the future of all the ridiculous nonsense.
Oh,
so they're not just making a Monopoly movie; they're making the Monopoly 3000 movie.
Pretty much. I mean, I cannot think of a property that is more completely tied to the 1920s and 30s than Monopoly, and they're doing a sci-fi.
So you said it's Ridley Scott.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to be like a Monopoly Blade Runner.
It's going to be Prometheus real estate. They're going to be fighting for real estate. When they go home...
Or they're going to be fighting the real estate.
Yes, they're going to be fighting houses. It's essentially going to be Rampage.
Now, see, I've said this before, and I would watch Rampage the movie.
I would, too.
That was like the last... That was like the last 20 minutes of Dark of the Moon, though. I mean, when it was basically this New York or Chicago getting, like, destroyed.
Yeah, but
that wasn't the last 20 minutes. That was the last hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you you went in Transformers knowing that robots were going to fight each other, but when you go to Rampage, you know they're just going to eat and destroy buildings for a good 2 hours.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic. It'd be great.
I think what the problem is that Hasbro has seen that every Transformers movie has made boatloads more money than the one before it. And when even the first one made a ton of money for them, it's like, okay, how many other properties can we turn into movies and do this again? And now
Certainly
they're
not
seeing why they
Monopoly.
can't.
Aren't they doing something with Gem? I heard.
I'm doing something with a Ouija.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
the Ouija board.
Board.
You know, they could actually turn that into a movie. I could see
And-
that.
They're
Well,
also
yeah,
coming
I
out
mean-
with Magic the Gathering, which kind of works.
That's
I mean,
Wizards of the Coast,
Yeah.
though.
But Hasbro owns them.
Hasbro
Oh, I didn't
owns-
know that. Okay.
and
Yeah,
bought 'em
they
out.
bought them. Yeah. Sorry.
They're doing really well with that brand too, apparently.
Hmm.
So
Well,
why not
yeah.
destroy it with a movie?
And Magic the Gathering, the movie, would just be like a ripoff of Dungeons and Dragons.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh.
Which is also owned by Wizards of the Coast. So why aren't they doing freaking Dungeons and Dragons?
It was a
Because
terrible
they've already
movie. They
done that
made
a couple of times and it didn't work.
Man,
it was an
Yes.
awful movie. It came out
it was
like
an
earlier.
awesome. It was
Terrible.
it was a wrongsomely awesome cartoon.
Well, okay, and here's the thing, too. I mean, going back to Battleship, how bad is it that the sci-fi original American Battleship came out the weekend after the real Battleship premiered in U.S. theaters and looked like a better movie?
Michael Bay wasn't attached.
I heard it was a lower budget version. Like I heard it wasn't that great. Both of them. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, not
I
something.
mean, the only difference in budget between the real one and the sci-fi one is how much they have to pay Liam Neeson, which, you know.
was 0.
So Peter, you said you didn't see Battleship, right?
No, but
I may see it just for ironic purposes.
I would rather go. I would go see Avengers again before I went to go see Battleship.
Well, yeah.
Do I dare see Avengers a third time?
Yes.
I've only seen it once so far. So
My friend Jim, at last count, last week he went to see it 8 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
that's almost as much as I knew one kid who watched Inception like 8 times in 8 weeks.
Yeah, he did that in like 2 weeks. He has no girlfriend though, so yeah.
What?
Okay, but yeah, so I think definitely there has to be some sort of
Hasbro, stop making movies.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or just get a different producer. Like
No, it just doesn't work. You can't license board games as movies and expect them to be Transformers.
I've
No.
seen Clue
Yeah.
more times than I've seen Transformers.
but I don't
It's been out
understand.
That's true.
I just don't understand
Better too.
why you would. Like you've already sunk so much money into marketing GI Joe and the toys and everything. Why do it? I just
Well, and that's really the important part here. There is the toy line, which there's got to be at least 3 or 4 waves already, like, in the can, waiting to be deployed. And it's all going to go somewhere before the movie ever comes to theaters now.
yeah. It
And
just sucks that Hasbro has no leverage in what Paramount does.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need
'Cause
to.
they have no say.
They need to negotiate better.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I mean, the saddest part was when Hasbro had to release their own press statement saying how they're going to hold back G.I. Joe to include the 3D just because they had to. You know,
They
I
have
mean-
to. Yeah. Yeah, they can't.
they can't, like, openly go against what Paramount is saying about
Right,
this,
of course.
or they can't, like, not say anything either because that's basically the same thing.
Okay, so here's my question. We probably should wrap it up after this. At JoeCon 2012, the fans are already pissed off that the convention has moved. So people aren't going to be able to. Some people
Down
aren't
the
going to be able to go.
By 1 week.
Yeah,
Yes.
all of this crap has happened. You know, Transformers fans are pissed off about some credit cards in first edition. G.I. Joe fans have a lot to complain about. So what's that Hasbro panel going to look like at JoeCon 2012?
Scary.
Brian Savage is going to come out and say it was the ISP's fault. Just fine.
And no matter
Let's
how
just-
bad this was for you, it was worse for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially, right? It's like, look, you were out like
and
20.
if anybody knows what tentacles are, it's you guys.
Yeah.
Lanny is awesome. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm not going to be able to go to JoeCon. I wish I was, because I want to be a fly on the wall. I will be watching live tweets coming out of JoeCon. I'll be checking out E&I and Jay's stuff.
Yeah, he'll be there for sure.
Yeah, so man, that's going to
Except we had the same expectations of the FunPub panel at BotCon, and it never happened. You know,
Joe fans are older and crazier.
I guess so.
They're actually all ex-military. No.
Well, they think they are anyway.
Yeah, so
Isn't that what camo pants means? Military?
so where, you know, for the most part, we're the oldest people in the Transformers fandom. For the most part, it's not entirely true. G.I. Joe fans are a good 15 years older than we are. So imagine 15 more years of desperation and loneliness. Just, yeah, they're going to be angry. It's going to be awesome.
And then you get into the 1/6 scale G.I. Joe fans who are even older.
Yes. Oh, they don't care. They don't care about that REH stuff.
Yeah.
God, they must have been born in the back of a brand new Jeep CJ.
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds great.
Routine patrol with 4 bikes and chases. He's later awoke in the strangest of places. Earth was their home now, and in addition, Optimus Prime gave them this mission.
Hi, this is Amy, and
Hi, this is Nicole.
we're going to be starting a little video spot in the next couple weeks, reviewing, just in 5 minutes, episodes of Rescue Bots. So if you're interested, stay tuned on Radio Free Cybertron for these little blurbs.
And you should be interested.
Yes.
We're girls talking about robots. What more can you want?
That's a really good way to sell it there. So just real quick, how are you liking the show so far that we've seen? We've seen, what, 12 episodes?
Yep, 12 or 13.
Yep.
2 thumbs up.
Awesome.
Loving it. I'm loving it.
2
It
thumbs
gets
up.
It gets better with each show.
Yes. Agreed. I totally agree with that. Yep.
And Doc Green is evil. I don't care how cute of a smile he has. That man is evil.
Yes, and Frankie is his minion.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I think
So-
Frankie is like a clone of him because he wanted to see what he looked like as a girl.
Oh, yeah.
See?
You know, the thing is that she's the one that's wise enough to realize, uh-oh, Dad's doing stuff again. We shouldn't do
Yep.
this. But, you know, she never stops it.
This is true.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's our little blurb for the Rescue Bots. So if you're interested, you can check out the show on the Hub every weekend.
Yep.
We're about 12 episodes in now, and yeah, it's good. It's good so far.
Get caught up. You'll enjoy it.
And then you can hop on over to the Rescue Center over on the Underbase and check out our full episode reviews.
50 minutes of pure bliss.
Yes.
Come on.
That
You want to hear more of this
and
stuff.
dysentery.
Yes, where dysentery comes up more frequently than you probably imagine.
Hey, we can't be responsible for what we say after midnight, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, so what about the Asian Generations toys?
Well, you know, we saw a new
That's slanting
image
your eyes, yeah.
artbacks this morning.
Is that what it was? I missed it. Today has been a killer day at work, so
It's on T-Formers.
Wow.
Somebody posted it.
Yeah, somebody was masquerading as XV posted.
really,
Yeah, it's great.
Not exactly. No, not really.
to T-Formers. Okay. Package photos upcoming in Transformers Prime. Okay, first looks at the Asian market Transformers Generations exclusives. Ooh.
Some of them are really nice. I love the look of Hotspot. That's going to cost a fortune, though.
And I've got to have that wheelie.
Yeah.
WTF.
No, seriously, I got to have that wheelie.
Are there bigger versions of these toys, of
No.
these pictures? Okay. Hey,
Not
John. I didn't even have to invite him. He just jumped on.
No,
That's
I
great.
did it.
Oh, you did? John.
What?
Because he's on Mac, he can do that.
Okay,
No.
so who do we have? We have Cliff Jumper. Who's
Wait till you get down to Braun.
okay? So is that supposed to be Springer? Who is that?
Is
The
that
Tom
supposed to
Clock
be
recolor?
Spring?
Yeah, Autobot Springer. That's what it says, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's
Swerve,
really
Cliff
sorry.
Jumper, Wheelie.
But they gave him a sword.
Yay. He's one of the few that I don't like. The rest of them are
Hoist,
spectacular.
Motor Master, Sweet, Thundercracker
Red.
again, Blue Streak, Sandstorm. Oh, awesome. Dead End.
Yeah.
Wait, these are Legends class? Okay.
Yeah, the smaller ones are Laserbeak.
Blue-
You get
Blue
Laserbeak.
Streak,
Laser Bleak.
Blue Streak, Motor Breath, Thundercracker, and other.
Brawl is based on Onslaught, isn't he?
What?
Is that Brawl? I can't. Is it supposed to be Brawl?
Yeah.
He's based
Yeah.
on Onslaught, isn't he?
I think he's based on Brawl.
I don't know what that mold was before. Or is that a new mold? What is it? Who was it?
Breacher from
Breacher. Okay, yeah, I love Breacher.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I was looking at. He's over here somewhere. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
people
that toy.
Like that one.
I really like that toy.
Yeah, he's fun.
Hotspot.
Have-
Oh my
have you
God,
seen-
yeah.
Have you seen Braun yet?
OMG.
No, I
Braun
think
is so
previous-
badass.
I think your previous statement of WTF is more correct in regard to Braun.
I want Hotspot though, because it's Hotspot.
Yeah, so
Right.
Braun is first edition Voyager bulkhead with a tiny little G1 Braun head slapped on top.
So, are these going to be Hasbro? These are going to be Hasbro. These aren't going to be
Yeah,
Takara.
Hasbro HF.
Holy crap! They just want my money so very bad.
They really do.
What keeps this economy alive?
Yeah, keep that Chinese economy alive.
So Springer, we are getting finally, and it sucks that we're not getting it here. And
Except of all the things to make a Springer out of, that's like the worst choice.
I was hoping for
That
a new
just
mold.
doesn't do Springer.
Swerve's okay. Cliff Jumper's
On the other hand,
exactly.
though, they're giving Wheelie a new slingshot accessory.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Nice.
And it's another use of that mold.
In orange.
So that is a definite must-have for XV.
XV loves his orange.
Oh wait. So is Thundercracker? So Thundercracker is
Legends.
Legends. Okay.
Yeah, it's not Deluxe Thundercracker. Again.
So it's basically the Easy Collection Thundercracker.
Probably.
Yeah, sure. But it's awesome. This reminds me of when you used to have to import Takara's line of Transformers.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah, it's ironic.
Yes, it's fun. Fun times.
Also on Allspark, they've been comparing this to like if it was another BotCon set for all of the successes and failures that entails.
So
I can't see where they're going with that because, you know, if somebody was going to make Wheelie out of jazz, it'd probably be at BotCon.
Dead End is
Or in China.
Dead End is Breakdown. Sandstorm is what's Sandstorm? It's not.
Sandstorm is. It says in the article if you read it. I
The
didn't
last
read it
Sandstorm we
before.
got though is based on the
Dune,
what?
Dune Runner from
Yeah.
Revenge of the Fall.
Okay, yeah. So the other was based off Beachcomber, which it's a better Beachcomber than Sandstorm.
Well, I mean, these are mostly hit and miss, I would say.
Man, I don't want that hot spot though.
Even when they
work a
miss,
lot-
though, they're interesting on some level. Even when they miss.
Well, okay, I mean, Braun is interesting in the, like, point at it and laugh sort of way. I'll give you that.
Yes, he's a hit. He's a complete hit. That's what I'm saying.
The thing with Braun specifically, though, is the colors are so close to Bulkhead, it really just looks like, okay, they took a Bulkhead toy and put a different head on it.
Yeah, he needs more gold. He
A
could have
really
used a ton more.
inappropriate, tiny little head.
And you classify this as a miss. Megatron is,
Interesting.
yeah, he's better than I would have expected, I guess. He's still bludgeoned with somebody else's head, but he's not bad.
I really would like to see, better picture of that Megatron just to see how well it actually comes off. The tiny little picture we have now, it almost looks good.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, were you going to say something?
Not too much. I don't know. I just kind of like to see a customizer take that brawn and just put some kind of tiny little body inside the neck to make it look like it's G1 brawn controlling a giant robot suit.
That would be awesome. It's like Tron Bon from Mega Man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, so with the bludgeon mold, I wouldn't mind if they spent a few dollars, a few extra pennies, and remolded his chest just slightly, or even just his skeletal feet. Just something to get just slightly further away from bludgeon. Because from the neck down, man, he is so bludgeon, it hurts. And, I think just a little bit here and there would make the world a difference. And then on Hotspot, was Hotspot that blue?
Yeah, he was pretty darn blue, yeah.
His chest should be red, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking it needs to be red. Or his lights could be red or something, just to get some more red. Or his windshield.
Lights are red.
Oh, they are. Maybe the windshield could be red, just to evoke a little bit more.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, if the windshield is still colorless clear plastic, they could have made the interior red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to give you some color.
Yeah, I mean, it would make a similar color balance, and it wouldn't screw up the way the vehicle mode looks then either.
So that was originally Inferno, or is it something else? Okay, that they've got a lot more use out of that mold than I ever expected that they would.
Yeah, they got Inferno, Grapple, Artfire, Hotspot.
Pyro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, forgot him. Yeah, he counts too, BotCon. So, what is that, 4 or 5? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
7 if you count the Japanese versions of Grapple and Inferno.
And you know what? They have not gotten out of it at all. A fire convoy, which they could have if they wanted to.
No, that'd be a little bit of a stretch.
I'm glad. Yeah, I mean,
wow,
Brawn.
Although, as a companion piece to this, they could do it up in Hero Optimus colors.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Or they could then take the two and mix them together and have reverse convoy.
Now you're getting into shattered glass type.
Yeah, no.
Density. Cliff Jumper is goofy, but
how is it different? I can't tell. How is it different?
He's got the G1 head.
Does he? Oh crap, he does. Oh, that's hideous.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
I didn't notice that.
Isn't that weird looking?
Now,
I'm not sure how I feel about Cliff Jumper. It's not as horrible as Brawn for what they've done to it.
But Brawn will satisfy some people.
Brawn is terrific. I mean, he's a car wreck, but he's an amazing car wreck.
Now, too bad they didn't put that head on the Terracon Cliff Jumper remold.
Ha ha ha.
Wow, Springer just does not look right.
Yeah, Springer's weird. Now,
on Tomahawk.
Does he have a new head too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean that helps, but that body is so, I guess, unimposing.
I love Vortex.
Yeah, it's
Vortex
so
is great.
It's spindly and it's tiny.
But I don't have Spinister.
Spinister is beautiful.
Vortex is beautiful too. Vortex is really nice. I actually finally opened it a couple weeks ago, and I really freaking love it.
And I got to admit, in an odd way, I am excited for Laserbeak. I think he's kind of neat.
I like that toy too.
Yeah, I don't have that mold yet.
Put all the sticker detail as pantographed on that toy's wings.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but otherwise, it still looks just like Skystalker to me.
Yeah. So, they should go about using that mold again. The whatever mold it was that they based Strafe on.
Mind Wipe.
Mind Wipe, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And make another version that he can attach to.
Make it Soundwave.
Make it Soundwave.
Make it G1 Cybertron movie Soundwave.
Yes. Blue Streak. I guess I'll have to get that.
You'll have to get that.
Well, we didn't get Blue Streak in that mold, did we?
In the Legends mold? No.
Yeah.
Just Prowl.
The last time we got Blue Streak, like at that size, if I remember correctly, was probably the Spy Changer from the G1 Spy
That
Changers.
was in like 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong on that.
Long since Spy Changers.
Was there an Easy Collection version of that? I don't remember seeing one, but it's possible.
I don't remember.
I don't pay attention to Easy Collection.
I do if I can get something cheaper than I can get the Hasbro version for.
Fair enough.
Breacher is such a nice toy.
Is he? I don't have that mold either.
He's great. Oh, one thing I wish they could use. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are using it. Let me go back real quick before I make another fool of myself. I wish they could do something with that wheelie mold, the Legends wheelie, because I freaking love that toy. They could if they wanted to get really funny, they could call him like Crazy Knockoff Bot, because he kind of looks kind of like a crazy '80s knockoff toy. That's
Legends wheelie. Yeah, there's something not quite right about him.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the intern did it, or
yeah, exactly.
Did it on Friday afternoon. They're like, yeah, sure.
He looks like an '80s Big Lots transforming robot, is what he looks like. But he's awesome. It's a great little toy.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
The robot mode though is just sort of freakish. Oh my God, Cliff Jumper is just hideous.
Because now he's grown up and looks like Jazz.
Yeah. Man, that's. I love wheelie.
See, I actually got even a little bit more into this wheelie concept when talking about it with some people on Allspark. It occurred to me, okay, this can be Transmetal 2 wheelie.
It could be, and he's also the right size to ride on the back of Masterpiece Grimlock.
Yeah, I guess so. But no, I mean, like, imagine wheelie acting like Transmetal 2 Cheetor did originally.
Yeah. Well, so are you saying... So Transmetal 2 Cheetor, I guess you could almost say that Beast Machine's Cheetor was like a even further extrapolation of what, testosterone, puberty, Cheetor could have been. So I think he's probably even more macho and crazy than TM2 Cheetor, but he's not quite as stupid.
Who, Beast Machines?
Yeah, Beast Machine's Cheetor.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's not as dumb. He has more testosterone.
Is he more macho? I completely forgot how they characterized him in Beast Machines.
He macho may not be the right word. He is very type A personality. He's very
it's like an a-hole.
I would say he's very alpha male.
Okay.
He's alpha male without being embarrassing, like Transmetal 2 Cheetor was.
Okay. He's kind of gotten a little bit more comfortable in his skin.
Yes.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Haha.
What's the point of Swerve? I mean...
Because they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make him feel bad. It's like, why are you here? Probably, yeah.
Make Tide cry.
To fill the case, apparently, I would say. Does he have a new head? Yeah, he does. He
has the cut mold pre-tool head.
Yeah.
So they didn't
That's
make
fun.
an original one for this like they did with Springer and Wheelie.
Yeah,
and several
still.
others.
I got to figure out which of these I have to have.
You have to have Wheelie.
I do. Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. There's no way around that. And
really, and people are going to go crazy for Hotspot too.
Yeah, I want that. The cool thing is, at least Hotspot is going to be a retail exclusive or a retail toy. It's not going to be like that Artfire, so it's not like a Generations book pack-in or something. So it shouldn't be super ridiculous. Megatron, though.
Megatron, I want to see a better picture of before I go either way on that.
Megatron, I guess he could be sort of Megatron in sort of like a Samurai Ninja Turtle sort of way. How Playmates kind of went crazy with like making all these themed characters. So if he's like Samurai Megatron, I would probably buy that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of easier to take this as Megatron anyway because Alternity was like halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. He was much more...
Brawn is just screwed up.
Exotic. Brawn is so good. Brawn is like insanity. I'm sure it's something like Hasbro had as a joke laying around. And they were like, oh, you need another toy in this class? How about this?
You know these
fully
people are
expecting them to
really
laugh at
all
him.
about this first edition Bulkhead toy. How can we give that back to them?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Better than ever. I would say. Better than
I'm
ever.
trying-
Hey, Megatron's got this weird deco on his skirt, I guess.
It's like a Decepticon.
It's a Decepticon symbol.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has the Decepticon logo on his crotch.
Don't we all?
I like him even more.
I'm just trying to
Is it
figure out
G2?
if the prime molds or the movie molds do worse in Generations, and I can't make up my mind.
Hold on, I'm just going to zoom into that.
That's an interesting question.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it may be.
The G2?
Yeah.
Dude, if it is, I'd go nuts. I'd be like, that's the best thing ever.
It's hard to tell.
And it's on his crotch chops. He's articulated enough to do a crotch chop, too.
Oh, God.
That's great. I don't know. I'll say this. For a prime mold, Braun looks surprisingly good within the context of Generations and Classics. And it may be just...
You really
I mean, he
think
looks
so?
he looks way better than I would expect. He doesn't look as completely, totally alien as I would have expected. And it may be because of the color scheme is now this, like, primary, vibrant, kind of straight green color.
That's a new accessory,
helps.
isn't it? That's a sword, isn't it?
What?
The Motormaster.
Yeah, all the Legends have new weapon accessories.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Darn,
Have we entered the
Hasbro.
age where they get better stuff than us?
Asia?
We're getting there, yeah.
Mm.
Well, okay, I mean, this is what we talked about last week. I think it was last week, from what Proto Man was talking about at BotCon, where, China's opened up. It's a huge market now, and they're moving to take advantage of that.
Yeah. They would be dumb not to.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing personal.
And, China has more market potential than us, so we can probably expect to see things like this continue to happen.
And
China has all our money, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. $3
Yeah.
trillion
They're
of
going to
it.
buy Transformers with it.
And honestly, also, they probably don't have to try as hard to make... Obviously, you can tell by looking at the stuff that they're not having to try as hard as they do with us.
Okay, now let's be fair. They are trying pretty hard on some of this stuff. Wheelie and Springer are solid efforts being put forth. The results are varying, yes, I'll give you that. But, I mean, they are putting some effort behind these. Most of this stuff has completely new retool parts, which is expensive to do.
Yeah, oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. And the beauty of it for them, I mean, these are essentially domestic product for them. It's, it's produced and shipped in the same region.
Oh, this will probably be cheap.
Yeah, there's
there.
no overseas shipping.
Yeah.
Whether they're produced in Thailand or Malaysia or whatever, it's all going over ground or by air.
Yeah.
I want these. I need to make that happen.
But, I mean, I think if anything right now, Transformers is on a little bit of a decline in the U.S.
Oh yeah, without the movie buoying it, you can see it sags almost instantly.
Without the movie holding it up and just the way they're handling the line right now, it's forcing itself into a more compressed state. We're going to see it get more streamlined and condensed down to the core elements probably over the next year.
Oh yeah,
just so the cost can be kept under control.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Especially like by the time the Transformers 4 comes out, it may be streamlined to a fault. You never know. I mean, it may be this incredibly tight, conservative movie line and not much else, just to make sure they maximize their margin.
Okay, to that point, look at Dark of the Moon versus Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen, I mean, that had basically everything, almost literally. You had toasters, biplanes, microscopes. They made a toy of it.
Yeah, it was like a Star Wars line. It's like everybody who was in every frame of the movie is getting a toy.
And then some.
Yeah.
With Dark of the Moon, it really focused back down on the on-screen characters and then a few extra non-movie characters, but nothing really off the wall anymore. They went back to the basic concepts, sticking with what they think works best for the line. They kept it smaller and more focused, and it still didn't do great, but still, that's not really the point.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I would have to think like the line was more efficient, if anything. I mean, sales weren't good, but I'm sure the margins were a little bit better. The sell-through was a little bit better. It looked better on paper, if anything, when the dust settled. That's still not good. I mean, to your point. To your point, we've talked about this plenty of times, but I just think they're paying an ungodly, probably incalculable price for creating the hub. That it's beyond the damage that's doing to Hasbro. You probably can't calculate, but it's doing massive damage every day to their brand.
And it's being compounded by things like we talked about in the topic, which, stuff out of their control, like Paramount deciding that Retaliation is getting pushed back and turn 3D.
You just can't wait. When it rains, it pours.
Getting into show business in general is maybe not working out as well for Hasbro as they hoped.
Yeah. This is why I hate machines.
What we should all do is chip in and send Aaron a fruit basket.
Or when we were at BotCon and he was milling around the dealer room,
hug him.
We should have gone up and clap a hand on the shoulder and give him a handshake and say, "I'm so sorry."
I'm pretty sure he was happy because his wife and daughter were there. He's like, "Yeah, I don't care."
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Obviously,
he's carrying his daughter around for a bit.
Obviously, the daughter's physical features took after his wife.
That's probably for the best. I mean,
that's how
I'm
it
not
always.
saying anything about Aaron Archer. It's just that it's probably not good for a girl to end up looking like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wait, he would not argue that.
No, I don't.
Something Rob and I have talked about on and off too is that Revenge of the Fallen kind of followed a similar pattern to the Iron Man 2 toy line. Because the first Iron Man line and the first Transformers movie line did basically the same thing. As soon as the movie came out, the toys were gone. You could not buy one to save your life.
Oh, yeah. I remember Walkie had taken a Bumblebee and just taken a Sharpie to those lines that weren't filled in. And I think he got like $150 for it.
Of course, it's Walkie. I mean, his fans are insane and will buy anything.
Yes, that may be true, yeah.
But the real point, though, is that Hasbro saw that happen 2 times in the same year, or within a year's span of each other. Mm-hmm. And so when the next line came around, produce, make sure we have enough toys to fill this demand we're obviously going to have because it happened the first time.
Yeah. Maybe waiting 3 years between the movies will help out, like we're doing this time. So,
well, that and it's like I said before. If they're going to do a soft reboot, like is being rumored, keep Optimus, keep Bumblebee, bring in everybody else new, and make new body design so people don't feel like they're buying the same toy they've bought for the last 10 years.
Yeah. Totally.
There's absolutely no reason to buy any deluxe Bumblebee from Dark of the Moon. The Battle Blade Bumblebee, which was on clearance about the same time the Dark of the Moon stuff hit, was a better toy, a taller toy, and was just about the most screen perfect version of Bumblebee you could get at that scale.
Okay, also, now I'll concede that point on the technical qualifications, but there is one deluxe Bumblebee from Dark of the Moon everybody should buy. It's the evil one you can put wings on.
Huh.
Oh, wow. Nice. It's like Devil
Where the wings come from?
Laserbeak.
Oh
That's
my
cool.
God, that's awesome.
That's cool.
It doesn't even take any permanent modifications to either toy to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
There's just spots for it. That's cool.
That's an Easter egg.
Yeah, I'm sure some
some
cubes at Hasbro's headquarters have that exact thing. I'm sure.
Doesn't Laserbeak fit on Shockwave too?
Yeah, Laserbeak fits on Shockwave. That was the first thing people did. With
fine.
that, I don't even think any disassembly is required. It just pegs in somewhere on Shockwave. JD actually has his set up like that on his shelf, so I didn't take a look at how it connects. If he was here, he could tell us, but
He's dead.
He is dead. He's not feeling well.
He's taking some time away from us right now.
He's not feeling well.
Is that code for diarrhea or what?
That usually is for me, but not.
Well, not the O-ring.
Yeah.
Runny poop. Ooh, yeah, I like awesome, Peter. Awesome reference. I'm gonna use that.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. Anything else we missed?
What were we talking
No.
about?
Oh, well, but just to back up, XV's point, they're better. No matter who comes back in Transformers 4, they better all look completely different. And so, like, if they know what's good for them, they all better look completely different, which makes me actually way more excited for Transformers 4 than I was like an hour ago.
The toys, maybe, but
I mean, they're gonna have to bite the bullet and say, look, if we're gonna do a soft reboot and we're gonna sell that successfully, we can't come back with Flaming Truck Optimus and an outdated Camaro Bumblebee at that point, an old model Camaro Bumblebee. We gotta doesn't matter what we do narratively, but we've got to come out with.
For every movie.
They do update.
I mean, we got to do something completely different.
Yeah, they need to do.
Well,
something.
yeah, I think probably whatever next version of the Camaro, the major revision will probably be out by the time that movie comes out.
Nah.
So
It comes out in a couple years, nah.
Well,
they've been using that body now for 5 years, 4 years.
The movie came up when
there has to be something
when
in
the first
GM
movie
library. That
It was a prototype. It was next year, I think, when it came out.
It was actually a body cast and then put on top of a GTO.
Really?
Yeah,
So
it wasn't real.
That body didn't exist yet. So the Camaro, the reboot Camaro, didn't come out until 2010. I think.
Okay.
And usually cars, I mean, specifically like these kind of cars, take about at least, I mean, a Camaro, maybe like, if they pull a Ford, then they'll change it they'll change it next year. But
Yeah, I really like the new Mustang, the one that's Italian designed. I'm actually really
2013?
I'm really pleased with it. I kind of
2013
want one.
Yeah,
Except for the
the
fact
Volkswagen
that it's
2013?
yeah,
Really nice looking, I think.
with a glass roof.
oh, the glass roof! Oh my God, that adds like $3,000 to the car, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard about that, and I'm like, no, that's going to suck. No, I think it looks pretty awesome.
Oh my God,
It looks pretty awesome.
Oh
The
my
whole
God.
roof is glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a glass roof. They literally just cut off like the entire roof and put glass on it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
But no, I mean,
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Looking at it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I get why they keep as much of the movie character design as possible over and over again, because they put a lot of money into developing them. They have licensing rights to the likenesses. You know,
Plus,
it's a major production to do that all over again. But at some point, it's going to have to be done again.
And hey, if they don't redo Prime and Bumblebee, they can do 6 background characters with no personality or point to the plot.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
a given anyway.
I mean, I think you're probably starting to see how the weight of the production costs and the logistics of this specific franchise is weighing on them now. It's essentially trapped them in a place where they can't be innovative because the costs of being really innovative are just too much to bear.
But at
So
the
they're
same
stuck.
time, they've gotten 3 movies worth out of these designs. It's time to do something new. They can afford it now. They have made hundreds of billions of dollars.
Well, that money is long gone.
Shut up, Pete.
Long gone. But I mean, yeah, it's just that they have to spend so much time and money for ILM to make this kind of stuff. And even Don Murphy said it, right? He said they've sunk so much money into these guys, they're just gonna milk it for all it's worth. And they'll get rid of the flames, or they'll like kind of do like a little like they'll just use if Camaro comes out with a mild refresh, then they'll like put the mild refresh face on it or something. But
Yeah, or mod the heck out of him or something.
yeah, it's going to turn into a rice racer essentially.
Awesome.
So,
Maybe they can do a crossover with Fast and the Furious. and
That'd be
have, like,
awesome.
The Rock
Transformers
drive
4
in.
Tokyo Drift.
Oh,
my
God.
God.
Introducing Movie Drift.
Yes.
Oh,
That's right.
By then they're going to have a new RX-7, so yeah, fantastic.
Honestly, I
Not
think
the word I would
one of
use.
the problems, one of the traps they may fall into is that they are feeling that the models are going to have to get larger and more elaborate every time, and I don't really think that's necessarily the good way to go. I'll put it this way. Revenge of the Fallen was on the other day, and my father was watching it, and he could not actually tell what any single Transformer was except Bumblebee, because Bumblebee is at least bright yellow. Everyone else was just a big lump of
knives.
Ugly, cacophonous silver.
Sure.
And
polygons, baby.
And if you don't know the characters, you don't know what the hell is going on.
Bad
They
for
could-
knives.
Well, during the fight
Bad
scenes,
knives.
you could barely tell what anything is, anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's just the directing was just horrible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Thank
even
the
care.
Bourne Identity for that.
I don't
Yeah.
even care if Movie Prime keeps the same vehicle mode and the same deco. The robot needs to look different because that's what's going to sell the toy.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's what they are 80% of the time in the movie anyway. So
Yeah, except
Yeah,
when
so-
Prime is like grumpy and won't transform.
yeah, okay. So he's pouting. Yeah, he's pouting in a hangar. Yeah,
Make it
Rob.
quick.
So, yeah, I was watching it. I probably watched maybe one of the same broadcasts that your dad did. And I watched the Devastator versus the twins when he's trying to eat the twins, and it's incomprehensible. And I've
Yeah.
seen it like 2 other times before then. Like I cannot tell you, I couldn't storyboard it for you, and I've watched it like 4 times.
Well, that's because
Um,
they didn't storyboard it.
And I forgot the complete. This was even before. Hey, Devastator's got balls. Haha, lulz. I completely forgot which one of the twins. He gets eaten, and then he busts out of Devastator through Devastator's eye, and
Yeah,
that's.
that makes sense.
I'm like, this is supposed to be like the movie's big, huge monster, and he's getting torn from the inside out by a racist,
Stereotype.
hatchback. Yeah.
wait,
So
wait,
it's
wait.
like
I,
this
Yeah,
racist
Jar Jar
hatchback.
just killed the giant.
Yes. Like,
Wait, are you telling me that-
coming out his face?
the eye cavity isn't the main destruction point?
Give me your face. Well, all I'm saying is like Devastator. Devastator has 2
Gigantic
Revenge of
balls.
the Following. Revenge of the Fallen. Devastator has 2 weapons: giant testicles and a mouthful of huge spinning knives. And the mouthful of huge spinning knives obviously
Isn't
does
very
not
effective.
work. Yes, he swallowed a Transformer whole, and that Transformer busted out through his eye. So thank God for huge testicles, because the mouth thing isn't working. That's what I'm saying.
Unfortunately, they can target those testicles from thousands of miles away,
Yes.
and then it just doesn't turn out so well anymore.
Yeah. Did they salvage the testicles, by the way, after this was all over? Did they roll them like a giant dung beetle's dung, just across the desert? Also, are they solid or are they hollow? They have to be hollow or they'd be too heavy, right? There's no way he could climb the pyramid
Well,
with
you saw
solid
they were
giant
dangling
testicles.
kind of low there, dude.
Well, I mean, we're all getting up there in age. I'm not gonna.
Funny,
not gonna.
what I don't
pick on
understand is
Devastator.
that's just so sad because that was 5 minutes and I never got back in my life watching the giant balls just bombing around.
Yeah. And
And,
watching John
as we're having
Turturro point
As
them
we're
out.
having this conversation, I'm looking at Brian's Skype avatar, and it's just
It's
it's
awesome.
so appropriate
just-
to this.
Because you're just sitting there, you're like, wow, what is John Turturro going to do? He's going to climb up. Wow, he has become an action star. He went from being a homosexual bowler to climbing the pyramids. It's great. Oh, shit,
Well-
now he's looking at balls.
Yeah, I mean, what's sad is, okay, so yeah, obviously Devastator's not there. Perhaps they put some funny prop up at the point where he was supposed to look. And then they said, hey, say this and point over there. Because the robot we're going to slave over for 3 months, we're going to render some giant balls on that guy. So you point over there, say this, and here's your paycheck for today.
Can you imagine
And
just Michael
catering's
Bay
in the
just being like, all right, John, next scene, big balls.
balls, baby, balls.
Balls.
Just think balls.
Just
That's
think
right.
about it. Just let me show you. Just balls. Look, just let me show you.
That's right. Think about your Oscar nominations, then think about nuts.
I don't think
And
there's any better way to cap this conversation off than by the words of Rob Springer, donkey balls.
Well, I guess that does it for this week. You can follow us on Twitter at TF Radio or join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/TF Radio. XV, what about you in Superhero Time? How do we follow you?
At superhero_time.
Excellent.
Or you can just go to the website and it updates every Tuesday afternoon.
Yes, Peter.
Sir. Screenview, at Screenview Show, all one word. And yeah, go to tfradio.net/Screenview.
And Rob, tell us about flow-throughs and toy. It's not figures anymore. You're
Figurereviews.com.
figurereviews.com.
Yeah, that's
Good job,
that's where XV and I review toys. This week, in fact, I just posted a review of Dollar General Snake Eyes. Really like that figure.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Flail Throughs is where I play through games in Japanese without knowing any Japanese whatsoever.
I've done that, but I haven't blogged about it.
I am.
Your brother is having the weekend project of Rockman 2, which is particularly entertaining.
Yes, because he is not really all that good at Mega Man, and there's also that slight little bit of lag because of the capture device. So, yeah,
and it's harder too, though, isn't it? The Japanese version.
Rockman 2 only has one speed.
Yes, the difficult setting from Mega Man 2 is the only difficulty on Rockman 2.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's harder.
That sounds like I'd be better off with a bullet and a gun.
I'm pretty sure Rob's brother feels the same way at this point.
What have I done?
Yeah, that's so awesome. One thing I wanted to mention, if you have a smartphone, there are various apps available. I've actually started listening to all of my podcasts now on my phone, which is a change from the last couple of years. And one thing I actually discovered was that a lot of the pod feed aggregators were listing some of our old feeds and a couple of feeds that were broken. So over the past couple of weeks, I updated the old feeds. I've gone in and took ownership of them and had our broken feeds fixed. So if you've tried to reach us in the past via your smartphone, it should now work. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So I guess that will do it for us this week. We will be back next week. And for the guys, thank you for watching.